The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning. Thank you for tuning in on the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. Hopefully you are enjoying this extraordinary Tuesday morning. It is October 3rd, and you know what that means. Fall is on its way. Thank God. This oppressive heat here in South Florida has been ridiculous, and throughout the country for that matter. Hey, we thank you for joining in. We hope that you enjoyed today's show. In fact, this is going to be a two-part series. We'll get to that in just a second. My co-host is AWOL. He's not with me today. Actually, he's at the doctor's office getting an x-ray, so hopefully he's feeling better. And so you get to deal with me today alone, solo, but it's going to be a great show. Hopefully you're tuning in this morning on WSTU 1450, which happens to be America's Heritage Station, and Ward WPSL 1590. And, of course, you can catch us live on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook. We highly recommend that you do, not just because we have a great show, but if you are skipping out on the radio and you're outside your car and you need to finish listening to the show, you can catch us at the Quality of Life radio show on Facebook. And then also, for those of you that are tuning in around the 47 various countries around the world, obviously you're catching us. Tune in on Alexa. Thank you for joining us as well. We're going to share with you a little bit of information because right now, October 3rd means we're only 12 days away from the Medicare annual enrollment period, or the AEP. Most of you know it as the open enrollment period, but it's actually technically the annual election period. The open enrollment period is going to happen in January, February, and March. We're going to get to that in just a moment. So again, what we're here for is to share unbiased information and provide education to consumers that are out there who are lost, who are getting inundated. If you're turning 65, you're 6 to 8 months away, get ready because you're about to be inundated. You're going to be inundated with phone calls, emails. Your mailbox is going to get full of junk mail. You may have unannounced door knocks. It might be the annual enrollment period that you're concerned about. You're already on Medicare, but you have questions or you might need a change. What should you do? What should you not do? So what we did is we put together back in 2020, late 2020, early 2021, a nonprofit organization called MedicareJourney.org. Most of you remember the commercials, the relentless commercials with these TV celebrity pitchmen trying to get you to call a toll-free number to enroll in a certain Medicare Advantage plan. So we're going to talk about that today, too, as part of our top 10 critical and costly Medicare mistakes to avoid. So, again, we're going to talk about that. If we don't get it done in this show, we'll make this a two-part series, and we will finish it up on October 10th, next week as well. So I want to talk to you about that. And then before we get going, you know, we are here every single Tuesday morning imparting the knowledge, the wisdom that we have to share unbiased information with you, our listening audience, because we know that it's complicated. We know that it's confusing, and you just can't trust anybody that's out there. There are a lot of nefarious and bad actors out there who are trying to abscond with your personal information, your PHI, your PII. They're going to call you and tell you, and sometimes your caller ID may say Medicare on it. I mean, they will find any way possible to try to scam you. So I'm here to tell you right now, this morning, that Medicare will never call you to confirm that you received your Medicare card or confirm your Medicare number. Don't fall for that trick. Don't fall for those shenanigans. If you don't know who's on the other end of the phone and you can't verify who that person is, hang up the bloody phone. And then give us a call here at Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. So my name is Gary Owen. I'm the president of Owen Insurance Group, and I'm also the host of the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. We are here in our community providing support, providing resources, because it is a crazy world that we're living in. So before we get going, we're going to make sure that we provide all the information that we possibly can. And we get it. We know that we're not going to cover everything that you need to know. So all you have to do is, if you got questions or you want to set up an appointment with us, give us a call here at 772-210-1020. We got a call a couple weeks ago from a gentleman who was listening to us, and he said, Gary, you got to give your phone number more often. So, all right. So, thank you, John, for that feedback. We're gonna provide our phone number more on this show than probably we've ever have in the past. So, again, if you don't know by now what our phone number is, you're gonna get tired of hearing it today and on every show hereafter. So, 772-210-1020, 772-210-1020. Give us a call. We'll be happy to help answer any questions you have related to life insurance, health, individual or group, long-term care, disability, Medicare, individual or group health insurance. We're here to answer questions that you have and help to be a resource. I want to give a quote of the day today, and that quote is, "There's a beautiful truth we often forget." And I get this part. I use this all the time. There is no one size fits all path to success or fulfillment. Your journey is unlike anyone else's journey, and that is something to celebrate. The part I want you to get that I emphasized, there's not a one size fits all path to success. Same thing about Medicare. There is not a one size fits all to Medicare. So I'm going to give you probably the best piece of advice before we even dive into today's show. And because we've already started seeing the TV commercials for Medicare AEP. It is going to be relentless. The good thing about what's coming out of the last year's debacle and 2 years before that is now that Medicare is not allowing anyone to run a TV commercial without first being approved by Medicare. So there will be no more misleading ad campaigns from these celebrity pitchmen. They have to announce or show on the TV screen what plan it is and what company it is. And it can no longer use the Medicare card inappropriately, thinking that consumers or tricking consumers thinking that they're part of Medicare. But do not call that toll-free number or those toll-free numbers. You're calling into a national call center or call centers throughout the country and in other countries. Do you think the person on the other line who's receiving your phone call genuinely cares about you? Do you think for a second that they genuinely care about your quality of life and your quality of health? It's a resounding no, okay? They don't care. They have a job to do. Their job is to enroll an X number of clients in a Medicare plan so they can keep their job for the next week or the next month. So I always say, if you don't call Owen Insurance Group, that's okay. We get it. As long as you work with a professional insurance agent who's independent, who specializes in Medicare insurance planning, you need to have someone that you can go to touch, to see face-to-face, eye-to-eye when you have a problem. There should not ever be a problem, but if there is, you needed someone to. Do you think you're going to be able to call that person on that toll-free line and speak to that person who enrolled you in that plan ever again? No. So why even put yourself through that trouble? There's a quote that I always use, and it's it goes like this. The decisions you make today can last a lifetime. It's important to get it right the first time. And I say that because there are people out there who think because they have been misled or they've been not properly educated that they can jump from one plan to another anytime they want to or during the annual enrollment period, election period, without any underwriting questions. Well, that depends on the plan you're going to. So most people think you can jump from a Medicare Advantage plan to a Medicare Supplement plan without any problems anytime or during the AEP. But that's not the case. So we're going to get to the top 10 critical and costly Medicare mistakes to avoid. So they go like this. Number one is not knowing when, where, or how to apply for Medicare. Number two, not knowing how much you will pay for your original Medicare. Original Medicare is Parts A and B. Number three, choosing to only enroll in Original Medicare without a supplement or a Part C or Medicare Advantage. Number four, deciding to not enroll in a Part D or prescription drug plan. Not good, by the way. Number five, not knowing the difference between IEP, AEP, OEP, and SEP. These are important dates that you have to know if you could qualify to make a change in your plan. So we'll talk about those. Number six, not knowing if you should stay on your group health plan or should you enroll in a Medicare plan. We have so many clients that come in here that are teetering on whether or not because they're turning 65, they're still working, they plan to continue working. Do they enroll in Medicare because they don't want to be susceptible to an LEP or a late enrollment period? Should they stay on their group plan or they enroll in Medicare? So we'll talk about that with number six. Number seven, not knowing how to choose a suitable and cost-effective Medicare plan. Number eight, not taking advantage of the Medicare AEP, which is now coming up between October 15th through December 7th. Every year is the AEP, or the annual election period, October 15th through December 7th. That's when you can make that change. Not October 14th, not December 8th. The 15th through the 7th of October through the 7th of December. The new plan will take effect on January 1. Number nine, misunderstanding the difference between a Medicare Advantage plan versus a Medicare Supplement plan. If I had a penny for every client that I spoke to ask, what plan do you have? And they tell me, oh, I'm on that supplement plan. Then I ask, oh, how much are you paying for your supplement plan? I'm not paying any premium whatsoever. Well, my friend, you are not on a supplement plan. You need to know the difference. And you need to know the pitfalls to avoid. We'll talk about that. And then finally, number 10, not choosing the right independent insurance agency or agent to be your unbiased guide. Because there are two types of agents out there today. You have a captive or a career agent or agency, and you have an independent agent or agency. We're going to talk about that in number 10. So one of the things that I can tell you that it is vital, it's absolutely important, probably as important as buying a home, investing in your stocks, your retirement plan, your quality of life and health, you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot put a price tag on it. It's important to get it right the first time because you may never be able to change it down the road, especially if you have a pre-existing condition or a limitation or a chronic or critical illness that will prevent you from qualifying for a Medicare supplement plan down the road if you start out on a Medicare Advantage. Again, we're going to talk about all of this. And I always like to say, never take the road alone. There is no need for you to do it alone. you have a resource here with Owen Insurance Group. You can call us anytime. If you need a review done, you're currently on the Medicare plan, or maybe you're aging into Medicare, or maybe you're retiring, and or maybe you're deciding whether you should stay on the group plan or go on Medicare. Let us be your resource. Let us do the heavy lifting for you. The phone number to call here at Owen Insurance Group is 772-210-1020. I have personally been living here in Martin County for the past 38 years. It's important that when you work with an agent that you know all there is to know about that agency and about that agent. Do your due diligence. Don't just take their word at face value. Do a little investigation, do some background, ask other people, search social media, and so forth. We're going to get to all that right now with number one. So, number one. And by the way, you have access to these top 10 critical and costly Medicare mistakes to avoid by going to our nonprofit website, which is www.medicarejourney.org. All right? Go to the website. Check it out. Check out the videos. Check out the information, unbiased information and education. There's one place that you can go to besides Medicare that you can get unbiased information from a national 501c3 nonprofit organization that's dedicated to the support and education for seniors with Medicare insurance planning. All right, number one, not knowing when, where, or how to apply for Medicare. All right? So when do you apply? If you're turning 65, obviously you have 3 months before the month of your birthday and 3 months after your birthday to enroll in Medicare. Medicare Parts A and B. Typically, Part A, it comes at no cost. If you have 40 credits or 10 full years of working history, then your Part A premium, which in 2023 is worth about $504 a month in premium, you do not have to pay that premium provided that you have 10-year work history. But you do have to apply for your Part B on the Social Security website, or call Social Security, or go to their local office. So if you are receiving Social Security benefits, then you do not have to manually apply for Medicare. It is automatic. So typically about 3 months before your birthday, you will receive your shiny red, white, and blue Medicare A and B card in the mail. Your Medicare will start the first day of your birth month. So if you were born, let's say October 2nd through October 31st, your Medicare A and B would start October 1. If your birthday is on the first of the month, your Medicare will start a month before your birthday. So if your birthday is October 1st, like my sister's birthday is, and happy birthday, my sister Joanne, and today is my niece's birthday, Briley, so happy birthday, Briley, Joanne and Briley. So if your birthday is October 1st, then your Medicare would start September 1. So keep that in mind. So if you're working and you're currently on employer group coverage, should you stay on that group plan? So really, we're gonna talk about the group coverage pretty soon as well. But it depends on the number of employees that you have, whether or not you should enroll in Medicare, or is it not necessary. So we'll cover that in just a moment. And then that is going to be on point number 6. And then where and how. We already talked about where to apply for Social Security. You don't go to Medicare to apply for your Medicare. You got to go to the Social Security website, ssa.gov. You can sign up there. You can call Medicare, 800-772-1213, or you could go to the local Social Security office. So those are the areas, those are the things that you need to do when signing up for Medicare, number 1. All right, now moving to number 2, not knowing how much you will pay for original Medicare. We already talked about what the costs would be for Medicare Part A, which happens to be the hospital portion of your original Medicare, covers the hospital. So with original Medicare, if you go to the hospital in 2023, your deductible is $1,600. It's a 60-day benefit period. So if you had to go to the hospital again with only original Medicare Part A, you'd have to go and pay another $1,600 deductible. If you had to go back to the hospital, say 61 or 90 days or 4 months or 5 months later. So you can see there are major gaps to original Medicare. And on top of that, if you're in a hospital beyond the 60 days, now you have co-pays on top of that to pay. So it really doesn't make that much sense to stay on original Medicare. You should have a supplement plan or a Medicare Advantage plan to cover those gaps in original Medicare. So Part A, again, is free with 40 quarters, a 10-year work history. I misspoke. I said it was $504. It's actually $506 a month premium for Part A. So you're getting that at no cost to you with a 10-year work history. Or if you're married and you don't have a work history, you would use the spouse's work history and qualify based on that. If you only had, let's say, between 30 and 39 credit, we just had a gentleman here last week that we enrolled in Medicare. He has less than actually 30 credits. But if you have less between 30 and 39 credits, quarters of work history, your monthly premium would not be $506, it would be $278. And what does 1 quarter of coverage equal? It's 3 months, right, of work history. And you must earn a minimum of $1,640. That's all, $1,640 per quarter to qualify. The base part premium for 2023, most of you already know, is $164.90. We anticipate that cost going up probably about $10 for 2024. So most likely your Part B premium is going to go from $164.90 to probably close to $175. If you're taking Social Security benefits, that $164.90 comes out of your Social Security check automatically. If you're not taking Social Security, you have to manually apply for your Social Security, and then your Part B is paid with a quarterly premium. You can pay that. Social Security is going to send you a premium notice, a coupon book in the mail. You can pay that with a credit card, bank draft, or a paper check. We don't recommend doing that. We recommend that you do it online. All right, let's see. If you delay your Part B premium and delay your Part D, you could be tough word to say on a Tuesday morning, susceptible to an LEP, or a late enrollment penalty. So there are times when you would not have to pay an LEP. But keep in mind, if you don't sign up for Medicare when you first become eligible, you could be exposed to a late enrollment penalty, which doesn't go away typically. There's only a circumstance that if you're on a low-income subsidy or you're on Medicaid, that you would not have to pay a late enrollment penalty. And we'll talk about that with Part D coming up here very, very shortly. So remember, original Medicare is Part A, hospital. Part B is for the doctor or medical or outpatient procedures or DME, durable medical equipment, and things of that nature. So it's important not to just have Medicare A and B. And I would say, I believe the last time I read the statistics, roughly 12 to 13% of Americans who are enrolled in original Medicare only have original Medicare. They don't have a supplement to cover those gaps in original Medicare expenses, nor do they have a Medicare Advantage plan. So we're going to talk about that here shortly. I'm telling you right now, the cost that you would have to pay on original Medicare is exorbitant. We talked about the Part A costs. Part B, you have the $226 a year deductible, and then on top of that, Medicare covers 80% of the cost, and you have to pay 20%. So, and there is no cap to that 20%. If there is a Medicare-approved procedure of $100,000, my friend, you're going to pay a lot of money. 20 grand is a lot of money to pay. And again, there is no cap to the Part B. So remember, if you have Medicare A and B and you do not have a supplement plan or a Medicare Advantage plan to go with your original Medicare, you need to pick up the phone and give us a call at 772-210-1020. You can also go to our website at oweninsurancegroup.com. We're also putting up a special website for consumers to do a review. You can go to aep2023.com as well and fill out a quick little form. That gets sent to us, and then we'll contact you later. So we are already out of time for this show. So we've gone through topic 1 and 2. Next week, on October 10th, we'll come back, and we will share with you the other parts that you need to know about. So stay tuned. Coming up next is a Brian Kilmeade Show. We appreciate you joining us this morning for the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. Please share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your loved ones, and let them know that we're here and as a resource. And remember, Treasure Coast, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life.